Good morning students. Welcome back to social class. I am very glad to meet you again through this video. Last week you have done your first cyclic test. I hope that you all have done your test well. Okay children, already we are doing a lesson on human evolution. Almost we have come to the last part of the lesson. In the last class we saw the next stage after making stone tools and weapons. What was the next stage after making stone tools and weapon? Was the discovery of fire. Let us do a quick recall on what we have done. Discovery of fire. How he got an idea of discovering the fire? At first humans were afraid of fire. But when he saw the rain accompanied by lightning had killed many wild animals. He tasted the flesh of the killed animals, which was soft and tasty. With this, he came to know the effect of fire. So, he got an idea of discovering the fire. With what stone did he discover fire? He used flint stone to discover fire. And for what purposes he used fire? He used fire to protect them from predators, for cooking food, and for creating light during night. Then we saw about the invention of wheel. The invention of wheel is considered to be the foremost invention of humans. Foremost, that is very important, famous invention by humans. How did he get the idea of inventing the wheel? When he saw the stones rolling down from the mountains, he got the idea of making the wheel. Then we saw about pot making. How did he make pots? At first, he learned to make pot. With what he made pots? With clay. How did he make pot? With the help of invention of wheel, made pot making very easy. Then the pots which was made were burnt to make it stronger. Then he decorated with lots of colors. From where did he obtain colors? The color dyes were actually made from the extracts of roots, leaves or barks. And these natural dyes were used in rock paintings too. Today we are going to see about the importance of ancient rock paintings and the world's earliest farmers. That is, previously man was nomadic, was moving from one place to another in search of food. Now from nomadic life, how he came to a settled life. That is what we will see in today's class. Now we are going to see about the ancient rock paintings. The importance of ancient rock paintings. See children, before the use of language, humans expressed their feelings through actions and recorded it in rock paintings. So how did they express their feelings? Through actions. So before the language was used, they expressed their feelings through actions and they recorded everything in rock paintings. See, in India, we can see many rock paintings and even we can see the paintings done on the caves. So this rock paintings give some information about the past. In India we can see many rock paintings in rocks and caves. They give some information about the past. There are 750 caves. Approximately there are 750 caves in which 500 caves have paintings. Okay, approximately how many caves are discovered? 750 caves are discovered in which 500 caves have paintings drawn on it. And even there are many more undiscovered caves are also there in India. Okay, what we come to know through the cave paintings and the rock paintings? See, it depicts the hunting pictures of the male and the female. So we will get a clear idea how the early man hunted animals. both male and female, how did they engaged in hunting. Not only that, we can see the dancing pictures and even the pictures of children, maybe the playing, how they were playing. Also we can come to know through the paintings which is done on the caves. So many rock paintings we can see in India, they give information about the past. There are 750 caves in which 500 caves have paintings on it, and there are many undiscovered caves are also there in India. So these cave paintings, okay, will give the idea about the hunting pictures of the male and female, dancing pictures and the pictures of children also. See, these paintings will give the knowledge about the past lifestyle. So through these paintings, through the ancient rock paintings, we come to know about the past lifestyle of the people. See, these rock and cave paintings also tell us many stories about our ancestors. Okay, so even through these rock paintings and cave paintings, okay, we come to know about the ancestors who lived in the past. Now we are going to see how humans reached the next stage. See children, there were many dangers involved in hunting because of large scale hunting in the mountain areas and in the forest, many animals became extinct. So now the humans found it difficult to get food. So that compelled the man to look for fruits and vegetables for food. Now they would have thought of producing food for themselves, because now they got the demand of food. They were compelled to look for fruits and vegetables. So they thought of producing food for themselves. So that is how man from nomadic life he came to settled life. So that is the time he started to think of growing food, producing food. So how they would have got the idea of producing food? See children, the seed of fruits and the nuts they ate were thrown into the soil. During rains, the soil gave life. Some days later, the saplings sprouted from the soil. So, by observation and logic, they learnt that a plant grows from a single seed and yields lot of fruits and vegetables. And second thing what they observed is seeds that fall in the river beds sprout easily. Okay, first they learned a plant can grow from a single seed and can produce lot of fruits and vegetables. Second thing what they learned is the seeds that fall in the river beds sprout easily without any effort. Easily it grows. Third thing, plant grows faster in water fed areas. So third thing what they learned, what they observed and learned was plant can grow faster where water is available. Fourth thing what they learnt was alluvial soil is more suitable for plant growth than any other. Okay, what is the fourth thing they learnt by observation is alluvial soil is more suitable for plant growth than any other soil. So with the knowledge they gained, they realized that with proper sowing and nurturing the crops, they could increase the number of plants more than the one it grows naturally. So this and all by observation only they came to know that if it can grow on its own, a seed can yield a lot of fruits and vegetables. If proper sowing and nurturing is given, okay, they could increase the number of plants. So with this, agriculture and farming came into existence. Now we are going to see how man started doing agriculture, how he engaged in farming and agriculture. See children, they domesticated the animals and used them in their farming. They domesticated the animals and used them in their farming. So what kind of animals they used was oxen. See, breeding of animals now become an important part of their life because they started using animals in farming. So what kind of animals they started breeding? One such kind of animal was oxen. Oxen was used in ploughing. Okay, oxen was used in ploughing. Oxen made the practice of agriculture easier. Now with the help of oxen, agriculture become very easy for the man to grow crops. Now life become very organized than it was when they were hunting. So when they were hunting, man was nomadic. He was moving from one place to another. He was not staying in one place. But now life become very organized. Now life become very, life become very systematic. So it enabled them to settle in one place because now he engaged in farming. He started domesticating animals, which is helpful in farming. So it enabled him to settle in one place. So when he started to settle in one place, the problem of utensils and vessels for cooking and storage arise. So when he started settling in one place, now he had to cook. Now he had the problem of utensils and vessels for cooking and to store the things. So how did he solve the problem? With the help of the potter's wheel and fire he used for cooking, and with pots, with the help of the invention of wheel he made pots, and the problem of utensils and problem of storing the things also solved. Okay, now the invention of plough helped the farming practices. Okay, it had the plough which he invented, he used in farming. So that was very useful for him in farming activities. Okay, how did he started doing farming? First, he cleared the land. Okay, how did he do it? First thing we had to make the soil ready, make the land ready for agriculture. So he cleared the land and he burnt the leftover shrubs. Okay, then he plowed the land, he sowed the seeds in them and he harvested the produce. So you know, now you also would have learned how or what are the stages involved in agriculture. First we have to prepare the land with ploughing. Okay, we have to make the soil ready. We have to loosen the soil. Okay, so that is ploughing the land. Then you will sow the seeds. What crop you are going to grow, that particular seed you will sow it. Then after that, after the plant grows, okay, when the plant is ready, when the crop is ready to harvest, then you will harvest the crops. So that is how man started doing agriculture. First he cleared the land, he prepared the land for doing agriculture. Then whatever is left over, he burnt everything. Then he plowed the land, sowed seeds in them and he harvested the produce. So when continuously he did the agriculture in one particular place, so over the time what will happen? The soil will decrease its fertility. So the fertility of the soil will start decreasing. So they will move to another place. So initially agriculture was done to meet the problem of food requirement. Okay, later when they found out ways to increase the production, they started to storing the agricultural produce. Okay, and the food product which is stored were used even during the lean harvest period. What is lean? When the harvest period was lacking, when the agricultural growth becomes less. Okay, so that time they started using the harvested the produce, whatever they stored, they used during the lean time. So by their experience, they understood that the land close to the riverside was suitable for farming. So they started settling near the riverside. So permanent settlement increased the yield. So they thought that if we settle along the banks of the river, we will get more yield. So he decided to reside close to the river, which is suitable for farming. So he decided to stay there permanently. So during this period, he not only learnt agriculture, but also he developed the skills of handicraft. Okay, some craft work also he learnt. So permanent settlement in a place increased the yield of crops. Now they had grains in excess. I told you in the beginning they started growing crops for immediate food requirement. After that, okay, they could able to grow more crops, and they could able to store the crops. Now the excess produce, okay, whatever the crops, okay, they used for themselves, okay, the remaining crops, they exchanged whatever they consumed. So the excess will be there, right? So the surplus grains were exchanged with other groups for the other things. So understand, in the beginning they started to grow crops for immediate food requirement. Later they could able to grow more crops. So whatever they consumed, they had some balance with them. They stored the grains with them. So the surplus grains were exchanged with other groups for the other things. That is exchange of goods for goods. We call it as the barter system. So the surplus grains were exchanged for other things, which is known as barter system. For example, I have rice and the other person has sugar. So what I will do, I will give rice and I will get back sugar from that person. So exchange of goods for goods. So that is what barter system. So with that, trade and commerce also developed, and with that towns and cities started emerging. So with this, he would have come to know how the man from nomadic life, how he came to a settled life. So previously when he was hunting, he didn't had an organized or systematic life, but when he started doing agriculture, he came to a settled life. So today we have come to the end of the lesson. We saw about the ancient rock paintings, the importance of ancient rock paintings, and how man from nomadic life he came to the settled life. So with this we come to the end of the lesson. Followed by this, you are going to see a video on from nomadic life to settled life. Followed by that, one assignment will be given. Please complete it. Thank you, children.
Living in an age of daily technological advances, it's hard to believe that farming, yes farming, planting and harvesting crops, was one of the greatest advances that humans ever made. This great farming achievement came about during the Neolithic Age or New Stone Age. Before this time, people followed the animals and wandered in search of edible plants and fruits. We called them hunters and gatherers, and they were always on the move. Slowly, over thousands of years, people learned to raise or domesticate animals, to plant seeds and harvest crops. Seems like a no-brainer to us, right? But this was huge. Having a stable or dependable food supply allowed people to quit wandering around and stay put. Raising sheep, goats, and cows was less dangerous and more dependable than hunting. So why the big deal? When people settled down to watch their crops grow, they began to build permanent shelters. They were going to be there for a while, so it was worth it to them to build strong houses out of mud bricks, stones, and trees. These strong houses provided protection from weather and wild animals. They had room for storage and new ways of cooking food. They made life more comfortable and allowed people to live in larger communities. More food in one spot allowed for more people to live there. These groups of people, or communities, allowed for people to work together on big projects like clearing fields or digging irrigation ditches. Communities also allowed them to split up the workload. While some people grew crops, others built houses or made tools or wove baskets. When people work at one job, they become really good at it and develop specialized skills. Farmers grew more kinds of crops, weavers wove cloth from wool and linen, stoneworkers used flint to make sharper tools and better weapons. Since food was readily available, people didn't just want to survive, they wanted to survive in style. They decorated their pottery in baskets, they made jewelry, mirrors, and nicer clothes. They were living the life. With surplus food and skilled workers making amazing crafts, people started trading for things they wanted and needed. Traders traveled hundreds of miles across deserts and seas and over mountains to get things they wanted. Popular trade items were flint for fire and weapons, obsidian, a black volcanic glass that was used for blades, arrowheads, and mirrors. People also traded for beauty products like stones, shells, and a red ore called hematite that was used as lipstick and rouge. Trade also passed along ideas, knowledge, and beliefs. Trade was the ancient people's internet. So let's recap. Greatest human advancement ever? Agriculture. Agriculture led to a stable food supply, which led to permanent houses, which led to communities, which led to specialization of labor, which led to trade. Yeah, computers and smartphones are great, but without agriculture, we'd still be hunting and gathering in small groups to survive. Crazy!